Hi, and welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. In the episode today, I'm talking to a mom of 4 boys, preteens, and teens, who had to raise them for the last months by herself with lots of challenges, lots of yelling, lots of anger. And even after more than 10 years of therapy that she did throughout her life, she was not able to stop it. She felt so guilty for giving them the trauma. They were even telling her, like, Mom, stop yelling, you're traumatizing me. And she always felt like, so out of control and totally lost at what to do, how to do it differently, all by herself with 4 boys. So, how did she turn it around? How come she managed to feel better and start doing better in less than 3 months? Even though none of that therapy helped her before, none of the parenting techniques helped her before, what is it that she did differently? How was she feeling at the beginning? And you have to see her because she's face on. How she's shining now and what she's talking about became possible. Not just in her relationships with all 4 of her sons, but then also with her husband who came back. And professionally, how it changed her entire life. Because, spoiler alert, this is not just about you as a parent. It's touching your entire life. And once you clean up your uncontrollable anger, understand where it's coming from, and start getting the practical tools to be able to manage your big emotions, you will never be the same. So, rather than me doing all the preaching and teaching here, come with me inside this episode and hear it, see it directly from her. See you there. Hi, I'm Elena and I'm a mommy tantrum specialist because I used to be specialist at yelling at my daughter daily. Now, 6 years fast forward, me and my team help busy, loving moms stop yelling, start setting healthy boundaries with natural consequences while staying calm so that the kids listen more. And one day when you look back at their childhood pictures, you will be able to feel at peace and happy with what a wonderful job you did. So that's what we do in this Zen Supermom podcast, helping you find out why none of these parenting techniques, not even anger therapy and counseling, is ever going to help you get there. You need to understand the root. Where is all of your uncontrollable anger coming from? That's what this podcast is about. So, welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much for making the time to come on the Zen Supermom podcast and share your story.
Thank you. It's so fun to be here.
Yes, and I'm so excited for you to be here. Tell me first, what would make you even want to share a story? Because it was you who came to us, like to your coach and to me, to say, like, look, I want to share my story in the podcast.
Yeah. I think I've done such an amazing journey, and it's all thanks to me. And I thought if I could do it, because I was really skeptical in the beginning. I think I told you that this might not work. I mean, 3 months, come on. And it worked even before the 3 months. So, I mean, when I had my last session with my coach, it was like, what should we talk about today? I can tell you more about my Easter eggs. Or, I mean, it was an incredible journey, and I think more people need to know that this actually works. Really, from my heart, it really, really works.
And we will get into all the details, but let me appreciate you and your courage. You even agreed to be on camera, and you made yourself so beautiful today as I was giving you the compliments. So what is it that made you want to even like have your face on the camera?
Because I think we are living in a world where people like me who wears hijab, I didn't wear hijab all my life. I mean, I put it on like 15, 16 years ago. So I know the before and after. And I know also there are a lot of women like myself who are kind of feeling alone. This is, I just do my prayers, and, then it'll be fine. They don't acknowledge the hurt inside the little child that they have. So it will be like not just for the regular moms, it will also be for the Muslims moms. Like, you can do it, or, if I can do it, then anyone can do it, really.
And we go across religions because the name is Zen Superman, but it's not like I'm not a
Exactly.
Buddhist or anything. Yeah.
No, and the fun part is in my line of work. Actually, I refer to Buddha. We had a meeting between a PhD student and a supervisor, and it was really tense. And I was like looking like this, and I said, "You know what? You can look at me as the Buddha in the room." So for me, this is even more like, yeah, this is on top.
Love it. Love it. And let's go into your story. Let's start at the beginning. What was the state in which you found like the mommy tantrum training and the things like
Yeah.
what were you struggling so much with that you were
Oh.
even considering of giving a try?
This was during summer. I was really, really down because maybe we'll get into that later. I was alone with my kids, four boys, and I felt like this is, I can't do it anymore. I'm just screaming, and the tantrums. I mean, I'm just like a little child. And then all of a sudden, I always believe in fate, destiny, universe. You can call it whatever you want. Um, I saw this on Instagram, the reel, and I was like, yeah, can't hurt, to look at this free. You had like a free open for an hour open session, and it was amazing. And I couldn't complete the whole time, but I think I was in contact with you afterwards that I've seen this. I want to give you my feedback. And then I had my one-on-one with you, and it was like, yes, I need to do this. Um, it doesn't matter how much it's going to cost me or whatever. For me, I'm approaching the 50s. Doesn't look like that, but and I'm starting to feel like I need to take care of my facial and everything. So this for me was like my inner beauty. I need to take care of that. So why don't I invest in myself? There was like, of course, those thoughts came later on, but in the beginning, I was like, I'm desperate. I need to do anything. And I was just starting like, well, I can do with the podcast and I could do with the YouTube channel, but then no, I think I needed more. So that's how it started.
Let me appreciate you with four boys all by yourself and tell me
Yeah.
their ages because I even I think I
Yeah.
had it somewhere.
I have, yeah, my oldest one is 14. And then I have the middle child, he's 12. And then we have twins who are 10. So we are looking at teenish, and preteen. Um,
Crazy.
yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of respect already there. And this is a message to all
Thank
moms who
you.
have more than one child and who have to do it alone. Let's get into it. It's because it would be completely natural and normal if you would tell anybody, I'm stressed out, I'm totally exhausted, I'm out
Yeah.
of my power because managing four preteen teen boys by myself, like this is total, I
Yeah.
cannot even imagine.
No.
And on
And
top of that, you have already done, like you were telling me, more than 10 years of therapy and stuff.
yeah, I think it started when I was in my 20s, something like that. It was like the first round and then was the second round. But then I regularly started to see this latest therapist. I think it was when my oldest one, it should be like 11 years ago. He was starting school, and I was really afraid of him getting bullied because I was bullied as a child. And after taking this course or program, I feel like, I also did some bullying to my children. That's not good. Yes, did a lot of, therapy. And I mean, the latest one, we became like friends. And I think you told me that the first time you don't have to be friends with your coach. This is a professional thing. We're going to help you. And it was exactly what it was. And also my coach, superstar. I love her so much. So she will always be in my heart. Like, even if we're not friends, but she's always going to be here because she was an amazing support for me during this journey.
Yeah. So, what is it that helps you take that leap of faith? Because it could be so easy to just say, look, I heard this before. So many people promised to me that I'm going to feel better in such a quick time, and it didn't
Yeah.
happen. And so I'm just skeptical. And is this a scam? Because I just saw you online. You don't even have like a physical office in my town. So
Um, I don't know. It was something about, it was the right time in my life. I was ready for it, more than ready. And I felt confident when I heard you the first time. We didn't even talk. We were just listening to you. And then we talked. And it felt, I got goosebumps during our meeting. And I felt like, yeah, I need to do this. And I have faith in that you will find me the right coach, because that is also, it could be, maybe it's not going to work, or, you're skeptical for that reason. And the best thing is that actually before we even started, we had, my coach and I, we had like 15 minutes.
meet and greet.
Just, yeah. And that was amazing. I mean, if it didn't feel good, then I probably would have reached out to you and your team and said, you know what, this is not going to work. Can you have someone else for me?
And I
But
would have sent you right back.
exactly, because she is amazing. I mean, I don't know in how many levels you actually, I mean, you are a good matchmaker, so you should also have the credit for that, because we clicked in the professional way. I mean, it's not like, oh, you're my bestie, but it didn't help that we came from the same background. We could talk the same language also, even though we only spoke in English, but some words slipped in Arabic. So it was all good.
Excellent. And I'm so happy about that, because indeed it takes a leap of faith, and I understand. And lots of women who might be sitting there and thinking like, I had some therapists and counselors before, but it didn't click. And then it was a disaster. This is exactly why I was telling you in your assessment call, your coach is not there to become your best friend. She knows how to help you, and
Mm.
she will. So
Yeah.
good, you took that
But
leap of
you
faith.
know what? The fun part is that I was skeptical still, because I thought it was kind of, this must be a scam or something. How could I be fixed? I could be fixed in 3 months. But I was even before the 3 months. And it's not like I was fixed, because the thing that I love about this program is the slogan, like, we are perfectly imperfect. Actually, I shared that yesterday. We had our last session with a teenage group, parents of teenagers. I'm going to tell you about it a little bit. So that was like, yeah, I'm not going to be perfect. It's not unicorns and fluffy pink clouds. I am going to do mistakes, but the thing is that I started like mid program. I started to acknowledge when we were kind of building up the fights, because my teen and we were like this, and it's amazing. I can feel it, and I can say, you know what, honey, I think we should just chill down. I will try to explain with calm words, with my calm voice, what I'm thinking about, and maybe you can give me the feedback what you are thinking about. And that would never have happened if this was summer, because before summer we're just screaming at each other, ripping our hairs, banging the walls. So I'm impressed, but also I've learned to say I did it. I didn't do that before. I was like, no, but I should. It just happened. I didn't do anything. But now it's like, yeah, I did. I did a lot.
You
It's
took the
all
leap
me
of faith, you
doing.
practiced a lot. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, maybe we'll get into that. But you have something that's called peaky reps. Probably the people who are following this knows what this is. And I was really skeptical, because I didn't have time to do those, sessions for myself. And we had a huge blow up before, like mid program. Me and my son, like, oh boy, I need to start over from the beginning. This is, oh, my coach is going to be so disappointed, and you know, and then of course, I mean, we had the blowout. We went separate ways, and I did acknowledge, like, afterwards, like, "Ah, I shouldn't have screamed. This was not good." And then when I talked with my coach, she was like, "But this is a win. Actually, you know what happened. You know what you did wrong, and you don't have to start over. You just take it again. I mean, it starts with, you do one session, and like, one repetition, and then it becomes a habit, and you can do it. I commute to my workplace, so I can do it on the train, just zoning out, listening to the sounds around me. How does it feel when I'm sitting, and so on.
Let me
So,
just insert there a little
yeah,
moment, a little piece, because for any of our listeners and viewers who are not familiar with mental fitness, this is why the recipe on how you can start controlling your anger rather than your anger controlling you and then spilling over to your kids. The recipe is to do not only one-on-one sessions to clean up your past pain, but also to rewire your brain. So what N was just sharing is an exercise, not mindfulness thing like count till 10, count your breaths. Instead of
no.
like trying to clear your head, you're leaning in, you're becoming present in all of your senses and all of your body, and becoming present to what voices are talking in your head, because it's them causing the stress and the drama and making it worse. So and it's so practical that you can do it few seconds at a time, and you can do it
Yeah,
anywhere, even on your way to work. So perfect.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna apologize. They're doing some building in my building, so it doesn't sound anything good because I hear like the drills. So I was afraid it would show, but good. Good
Sorry,
to
they
know.
are disturbing you. They are not disturbing us at all. Yes, that's good.
Good. Mhm.
I would love to hear some specific examples, because I can imagine there will be moms sitting and listening and they are wondering like what were the specific challenges you were mentioning, like with your teenage son used to get into screaming fights. And so now
Yeah.
what's different? You can actually pause and have a calm conversation, and you can even come to an agreement. Did I
Yes.
understood right?
Yeah.
Can we
Um.
share more examples of like what used to be the
Yeah.
biggest problem and
I
how
think.
it's looking now?
Yeah. I mean the screaming and stuff was like it was kind of regular. We moved because he was bullied at school. Even though I tried to prevent it, so we moved from town to town. So the last 2.5 years have been like 2 years have been a screaming fight. I think I found you on like the anniversary day that we moved into this new place. So that's also like the universe telling me you need a second change. But then from like beginning of April until mid October, I was actually all alone because my husband was away. So that was like really challenging. And I mean, the tiniest little thing could just blow up to be enormous. And it could be like they didn't help me with the dishes, or they didn't help me set the table, or and now when I burst out like, oh, I'm the only one living here, I'm the only one who does anything, they go, but mom, you need to tell us, what do you want us to do? Yeah, you're right, you're not mind readers. So I mean, you can apply this on anything in your life, and I think for me it was good to know and acknowledge my childhood traumas, because they were a lot.
Can you
um
mention briefly, like we don't need to go into
yeah,
like shaming your parents or
no,
anything, but what
no.
was the pain from your childhood that kept manifesting as the
Yeah,
uncontrollable anger?
exactly. Well, I was born here in Sweden, and then when I was 1 year, we moved back to my parents' home country. We're Palestinians, as you can see, and they were living in Lebanon. So we went back, and then the war broke out in Lebanon, so we came back to Sweden, like 82. And I had a wonderful childhood when we were living in Lebanon. And then when we came back to Sweden, gradually my relationship with my father kind of worsened, and he became the first bully of me, before I got bullied in school and so on.
Yeah.
And that was like, all the episodes from that, and the trauma of leaving a country, like, so that could manifest in anything. And I mean, we didn't go into so much into deep, like every trauma that I had, but we picked some of them in the one-on-one, and that kind of unlocked something, because I think it was the first session that my coach said, well, imagine the most beautiful place that you have. It could be imaginary, it could be real. And I imagined the lake that I used to go to when my son was 1 year old. And then I put my little child, my inner child, on that beach, and we talked. And that was the thing that I needed. And then everything started to come gradually, and I could see in my reality and my with my children, like, oh, this reminds me of this, and that was because of that. Um, Actually, at work also. I mean, this amazing program has spilled over. Now I have goosebumps again. It spilled over all my life, like my work life, my siblings, because one of my sisters were close age to age. She's born in 82, so I'm not saying that we have the exact, memories of our childhood, but we share a lot of traumas. And she also started a different journey. But she's kind of looking at this program as well, and it's like, yeah, you can do traditional therapy. I know, but it's not going to work. So, I mean, it could be. I had at work. I had a thing. I had a PhD student who kind of creeped me out because I used to get emails and I didn't know what the heck he wanted, and it was like I got stomach ache whenever I saw his name because I didn't understand what help did he need. And then it hit me, oh my God, this reminds me of my father, because we didn't know what he wanted. He just wanted us to do stuff and we didn't know. So it was like tiptoeing everything. And I was like, aha, okay, now I know how I should react. This is not me, 47 years old professional doing my job. This is the little me, who was afraid of you know being yelled at, or someone being disappointed in me, because I had a lot of saboteurs in my head. They were not nice.
Lots of trauma voices. Let me
Yeah,
just, if I can hold you there for a second, in that example which you mentioned, like with the PhD student now in your professional life, and you made that connection with what your dad, like how he was making you feel.
yeah,
There will be some women, I'm sure, listening, watching, who have done already some inner child work before and some trauma therapy, but they did not connect the dots. They understand, okay, it's me from my childhood, but they still don't know how to apply it. They don't have
yeah.
the tool. So explain to them practically how you were catching these child feelings inside of you and what you did with it in the middle of the moment when you had that PhD student or with your son.
Um, I'm just gonna have a moment to think here, because
Yeah.
now it happens so naturally. Uh, I mean, I think the I think the key is I didn't give up. I mean, of course, I felt like ridiculous. And that was some of my judges, of course. It wasn't me. When I was sitting in my first session, and my coach said, okay, close your eyes, and now we're going to do this. I'm going to go back to this, pick like a specific. And for me, that was the thing that, locked up that. And then I could, in some way, connect it to whenever I was feeling insecure or really sad or depressed. It was something that had happened in the past, and I could go back to my memory, because it was not only my father. I had my uncle's wife also bullied me, and her children as well. So we have had several of years where I hated that person because she's still alive. My father passed away in 2004. Um, and it's hard, to just say what exactly it was. It just happens, and you just have to trust the process, because this is really, I mean, I also did inner child with my recent therapist. We could pinpoint like a lot of traumas, but we didn't go into them. It was like, yeah, this happened, oh, that's why I'm reacting like this, and oh, this happened, but not deeper enough to know how can I stop it, because I don't want to be that person. I don't want to yell. I don't want to be sad all the time. So I think
It's
it
so
was,
good.
yeah.
It's so good that you don't even remember now specifically. This is fantastic that
No.
it becomes an automated habit. And this is message for all of the moms. Yes, it takes like 3 months on average, sometimes faster, sometimes it's four. That's why I'm giving usually like 1 month as a bonus.
Yeah.
But it is something you will continue doing for the rest of your life. And
Yeah.
now I love you talking about it, that it became just part of your new nature. This is the new you, and you're
Yeah. Yeah. This is the new me.
automatically.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday, it was also like practical, because when I started this program, one of my closest friends here, where we live, she was like, "Oh, have you seen that the community here has a evening course for teenage parents? Should we sign? Of course, we should sign with me." That couldn't. I mean, that would just add more experience. and it was really good. It was like everything, like a puzzle, everything just fit together. And I was talking about my progress in this program with the other parents, and they were like, "Oh, that's really nice to know." They acknowledge, because a lot of them also did the yelling and screaming, and like afterwards they would, "Oh, I did wrong," and I told them that when I used to do that, that was one thing that I was good at. I used to try to explain to my children afterwards, but I mean, the damage was already done because I used to scream. And I mean, what good does it make? It's like the example where you scrunch a paper and then you open it. Like, does it look the same? No, it doesn't. It has a little bit,
Mm.
Um, so I could, use that. And yesterday was the final session, so I told them about my progress here, and everyone was like, "You need to share this." We actually made this is, I think, the first time we are going to have a WhatsApp group for all the parents. So I'm gonna, send stuff from here, because I mean they could do the free stuff if they want to, and then when they are ready for it, because you need to feel, within yourself, that because it takes a lot of work from yourself, so you need to know that I really want to do this. And also, it's going to be setbacks during the program, of course, and I had one really big after that blow up. I was like, this is not going to work. The judge was like, no, 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 you can't do this. And then I got an email from you. I mean, you didn't say like, you need to do this. It was more, you've invested so much in this. Don't you think that you owe yourself to do this? And I was like, yes, I do. Let's do this again. So it was like right up on the horse again. um, so yeah, and also I mentioned my uncle's wife. We have had really troubled relationship, and my uncle is now also. My mom passed away 3 years ago with lung cancer, and he also, like when she was diagnosed in 2018, he also got his stomach cancer. So now he's getting worse, and I mean, I think it was Sunday. Yeah, I heard from my cousins like, "Oh, he's getting worse. You need to go and visit him," and so on. I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna call her. I mean, she's my uncle's wife. Why shouldn't I call her?" And she was surprised that I called. I'm like, how is he? Do we need like to do anything? Because yesterday he was enrolled in hospice, but he's
Mm.
gonna be home, and so he can be in the environment that he's used to. And it was like getting back to when I was a child. She was all loving, and I think she also probably has had her shares of troubles that made her change her mind. But we went there. My husband took me there because they live in another town. So we went there and we stayed for like an hour and a half Sunday evening. And he was tired, of course, but it was nice. We were sitting, we were talking, and I felt like, well, this is also on the program. I did a lot of recognizing also the traumas that she caused me, but I'm done with them. I mean, if I'm going to hold on to the past, I'm never, ever going to be this mom, the perfect mom that I want to be. I'm not going to go forward. Um, so I felt so happy about it. Like, yeah, I've done some work here, and
Well
that's some.
done. Well done. You've done a huge amount of work, and
Yeah,
this is just the proof of it. Because the first thing is moms stop yelling at their kids. This is like the easiest thing. This is
yeah,
the fastest. Second, then usually the relationships, if there is any romantic, like intimate relationship with
yeah,
partner, husband, that one goes next. But the ultimate proof of how much you have healed is going back to the family where you grew up and not
yeah,
get triggered by the
uh-huh,
people who caused the pain. And the
yeah,
fact that you can do it just like few months in, this
yeah.
is the biggest
Thank
proof
you.
of how much you worked. So you deserve
Yeah,
all the credit because you
thank
did
you.
it indeed. And it was not a straight line up, it
No,
was a
no, no, no.
bumpy road. And you
Yeah,
picked yourself up, you raised your hand saying like, I need help, because this is also,
yeah,
many women get to that point when they're like, yeah, there are bumps on the road and then they disappear. And that
yeah,
you didn't do that. You came in and you said, I feel like disappearing, but that's what gave me the opportunity to catch you and
yeah.
bring you back, right?
Exactly,
So all the
exactly.
credit goes to you. Well done.
Yeah, thank
This
you.
is so fantastic. So what's next for you? I know that when we had the last chat together, you were mentioning your husband who came back in the meantime, and
Yeah,
things have improved there as well. So
yes. Our relationship, it has always been good, but it's like we are more tuned into each other, like more in the brain, because I rewired everything, and he also did some healing on his journey. So we are looking forward. Like, we need to give the boys safe environment. We are not gonna yell. He's not the yelly one. I was the yelly one, and I mean, so I've become more like him in that sense. And I mean, it gives the children notice the change within us also. Like, we are more loving to each other. I mean, I've always loved him, and he loves me so much, you know. But it's like, it's been intense now that we really know the feeling, and we talk with each other so much. And I was the one who actually didn't say how I actually feel about stuff, because I'm not used to being heard, you know, from my father or other people who are, you know, important to me. And now I can tell him, like, you know, I need this. I could go up and I need 2 hugs because, you know, I'm having a bad day. Or I could nudge him, like hit him on his arm, like, and he's like, what is it? You haven't hugged me today. And I was like, okay, you don't have to hurt me. I'm like, well, you need to hug me. So it feels like we're teenagers again. And I mean, we've been together. I think our anniversary is 15 years now. The 5th of December, we had our wedding party.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is so
um,
fantastic.
Thank you. So, I mean, we're just looking forward to the changes that we have done within ourselves, within the family, the big move that we made, and we're talking about, you know, improving stuff. He's upholsterer, so he works with renovating old furniture, and I'm helping him with that. I am going to look into how I could, you know, educate myself further in the things that I like, so I can use them in my work or in my private life as well. So it might sound now that it's everything is so happy, but no, it's gonna, you know, we have fights, we get mad at each other still, but the thing that has changed is that we actually, you know, immediately talk with each other. I don't go around and sulking and feeling like, oh, he doesn't understand me, or stupid person, why did I marry you? That has changed a lot, and the most important, the children, because I was really I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I was really transparent with the kids from the beginning when I found this program. I also told that to my coach, and she was like, wow, that's good of you, because it felt more real when I talked about it with the children. And so they know, mommy, did you take that course to be a better mom? I was like, yeah, because I don't like this, mom. And then they would say, and still say, but we love you anyway. I know you do. And I love you anyway, you know, but I need to change because this is not good. You're not feeling good when I get stressed out and sad and angry. And it could be like small things. I think it was 3 weeks ago, before my last session, me and the middle child, we were heading for a doctor's appointment, and we need to take a bus actually, you know, from where we live. And we missed it. And I was so pissed. Sorry, my language. I was so angry with him because he forgot the card for the bus. So he needed to run up. So we missed the bus. So we need to walk really fast to another station that we could take the bus that we should take. And I was so stressed. I was, oh, you knew we were supposed to take that bus. Why didn't you prepare yourself? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, but this is not going to do anyone any good. And I spoke about it loud because he's really just like me emotionally. So it's like a mini me. And then I felt like, oh, this is not good. I'm hurting him. And I told him, you know what? I'm sorry. This was not good of me. I'm stressed. He was like, yeah, I'm also stressed, mom. And it was stupid of me to forget that card. I'm like, yeah, well, now we can do something good about it. Like we got there in time. We had time to go in and buy a cinnamon bun, and I could buy coffee, and he could have a drink. So it's like autopilot now. It's the good autopilot. It's not the other way around, because I used to have the bad one who was like, you're not worthy, you're the worst mom ever, you're not gonna be a better mom, this is it, this is what you can do. um and I always felt inside that there must be another way. I mean, I need to stop this. And there you are. This program is amazing. I should also mention that I had some hesitations because it costs a lot. I mean, it's not, I know that you would love to do this for free, but this is not charity, and you need to have some income to have a decent life and the people that work with you. Um, so that was like a big hesitation for me. How am I going to have this, big amount of money? And you were amazing, meeting me like, well, okay, where's your limit? How much could you pay every month? And I told you, and then you made a fantastic payment plan for me. And I know I'm still paying on it. I mean, I'm done with the program, but I also feel that I'm paying for the aftermath, because I'm still, working on this. So and I felt that that was also like, it's not the huge thing. I would probably have, taken a loan or something, but this felt like, it felt like home in a way. I can't explain it in another way. Like you made me feel like family in a way. Like we take care of each other, and that's truly is amazing about this program. That when you need it the most, you will get it, and it will be applied in different ways to fit with your life, with your situation, and whatever. I mean, I have the moms that I'm thinking of, my friends. They're single moms. They would probably not have the amount of money, but I told them about how I have been helped. So it's like an eye opener. It doesn't mean that they're going to come running. I hope they will, but I mean, I'm talking with everyone about this, and I think it's something that you shouldn't. If it comes your way and you feel like, oh, maybe I should do this, do it. It's like the Nike slogan: just do it. If you don't, you're gonna be sad that you missed it.
And
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you are sharing, because you're becoming like the sales agent, but it's coming from your heart and knowing how you transformed your pain
Yeah.
into how you're feeling now. And it's indeed not about like having 100% happiness all day, every day. It's about the ability to live the full spectrum of emotions, including the anger and stress, but knowing what to do with it. That's what
Exactly.
gives our children the permission to
Yeah.
live and experience the whole range of emotions, not pushing them into the happy and calm, but knowing how to handle it when they are having anger, stress, and when they are being bullied or not loved by
Yeah.
somebody else. So I appreciate you and your courage so much, that you became such a vocal advocate about it, that you're just sharing your story with anybody who would
Yeah.
listen.
I
So
think
let this,
everybody.
exactly,
Exactly.
so let this be the platform for you, because there are
Thank
really
you.
so many things I love so much about your story. You did it by yourself. You didn't let anything be your excuse, because you felt so much passion and drive inside. You really decided, like, this is it for me. Like, I
Yeah.
need to do it.
Yeah.
And this is what became possible. So all the credit goes to you. Well
Yeah.
done. And you can be so proud of yourself. And I cannot wait to stay in touch, because this is not the last time we are seeing each other. So
No.
I cannot wait to hear how this story is going to
Yeah.
develop. Because as a mom of 4 boys, like, there will be one day 4 partners, spouses, who
Yes.
will be kissing your feet and the ground you walk on, because the fantastic job you're doing with them, how you broke
Yeah.
your generational trauma, and how you're allowing them to be trauma free and
Yeah.
like emotionally aware men. Like, this
Yeah.
is really bravo
It's.
to you and your
I mean,
husbands.
thank you, because it's really really important. Because my eldest, before I joined you, he's very vocal, so he always talks about his feelings in a way. So he could use these words like, "You're giving me trauma. You're hurting me." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna change." And I did. So now he also sees that, and we talk in a different level with each other. And they are really outspoken. My 4 boys, they can tell me anything, like anything, with their bodies changing, and it feels like I feel a little bit embarrassed. I think this is, talk to your dad,
Too much
but
information.
yeah, but the thing is, I feel proud because they trust me so much that they can tell me anything. I mean, that's good. I want
It's
them to
huge.
call me if they are going out and with friends, and some of them had too much to drink or whatever, and please come pick me up, or something like that. That's good. So I feel proud also that they have this trust in me, because that's what I was lacking in my experience. Like, it pops up a lot of things here. I remember just when we had this big blow up, I just need to acknowledge the thing that I was thinking also, because I was thinking stuff during the blow up with my son. Well, I didn't get an understanding parent. I just got yelled at. So why is he gonna get, like, no, he's gonna get the same treatment. And then
the jealous inner child wants to punish. Yeah,
exactly. It was the inner child. So it wasn't me, but it was the inner child. So now I think it was one of the, I don't know if it was on the group calls or in the Facebook group. One of the moms said that she has like an inner monologue with her inner child whenever she's like beginning. And I started to adapt that. So like, okay, you're feeling this, but let's hear him out, because he deserves, to have someone listening to him. And that was also changing in me, and it still is. So it's amazing. It's so, the little things and the bigger things. I'm
and
so
you will
happy
keep
that
going.
yeah, it will keep going. It's like the gift that keeps giving and giving and giving. Yeah.
Fantastic. So happy for you. Well done. Well done. You deserve to celebrate. And thank you so much for being the inspiration for any men and women who need to be hearing this. Because this generational thing, like, it's all of us. It touched all of us growing up. It doesn't mean we have to blame our parents. But the fact that you were able to step into it courageously without any fears and just go and clean it up so that your kids don't have to go through the same. This is it. That's how you save the world. Start with you and your own family. Beautiful.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you so much, Anne.
Thank you so much also.
Thank you. For anyone who wants to send some love and appreciation to Anne and share your feedback, what is it that you got out of this episode? Feel free to comment below wherever you're watching or listening, or send us an email. We will put there our email address. We are going to share it. So thank you so much. And yeah, let's do like a follow-up episode 1 year, 2 years later. Because I'm sure like it would be yeah. Let's keep tracking your progress and how it's all evolving. I cannot wait to see and hear about all those beautiful wins you're having.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all moms listening there and watching. See you next time. Why can't you stop yelling at your kids? And no, it's not the stress, lack of sleep, kids not listening, fighting, hitting, no support, time pressure, ADHD, hormones. No, moms around the world are doing it regardless. How? Join us for the upcoming Mommy Tantrum training and find out too.